Hi there. How are you? Hope you had a good weekend. Um, I sure did. You know what I did over the weekend is I went to the Galloping Ghost Arcade in Chicago. It is like the history of video games all in one place. It's amazing. It's awesome. So I played, Donkey Kong and Asteroids and Pong and Star Castle. And Star Castle was one that I was awesome at when I was a kid. And I didn't get the world record, but I got number two high score for the Galloping Ghost. And I'm definitely going back and I'm going after that high score. So um, it was a lot of fun. If you're ever in the Chicago area and you're into like video games and the history of video games, I mean things like Frogger and Defender and what else? They just had everything. So it was a lot of fun. I took our kids down there and we just spent the entire afternoon. So I got rejuvenated from that. It was pretty cool. So I think what I'm going to do is work on this trash dumpster. I could go back and work more on my building here with more windows and everything, but you know what? I'm kind of windowed out for now, and I kind of want to just noodle on something that has a little more detail. So I think I'm going to work on this. So how is everybody? I have my chat screen back, so I can kind of see you. But the problem is I feel like there's a delay. So if I don't see what you're saying very quickly, bear with me, all right? All right, let's take a look at one of these cubes for the dumpster, and I'm going to move it over to layer 6, and let's work on this. I'd kind of like to be in the center of the grid for this. I really would. So I'm going to move this into the center of the grid. Since I now kind of have a sense of how big it's going to be, kind of want it over here in the center. So I'm going to zero these out and pop it into the center there. So a dumpster. I kind of like this. I looked around on Google, and I think I kind of like this. I may dirty it up a bit, but this is pretty good. I like this. So where to begin? Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and begin with this right here. I'm just going to tab into edit mode and grab an edge and kind of move it up and see if I can kind of get it into that basic shape there. One of the things I want to do as well. Oh, good. When you open up Blender, you've got a viewport lens of 35 millimeter, and I feel like sometimes that's too wide. So I have it at 45. That kind of gives me a better sense of the proportions, I think. All right, so let's think about this. It is obviously a cube. Or am I going to want things inside? Probably. So I'm going to go ahead and extrude this. Now, someone did point out in the comments that I could just hit I and scale in. That's the inset. You are absolutely correct. Thank you. I just am so used to, hitting extrude. It's just what I do. And then I'll go ahead and just hit E, but this time I'm going to pull straight down like that, just to give us some insights, because maybe I want one of these to be open at the top, with the top open. Let me spin around to my side and look at this. To flatten this, I can hit S and Z and flatten it in the Z there like that. Bring that down. Okay. All right, so there's that. Very basic so far. I like the little thing that extrudes out here. Do I need that? Yeah, I kind of do. So, okay, let's insert an edge loop, bring it on up, and let's try this. I'm gonna, oh, I didn't turn on my screen display, sorry about that. There we go. That's better. I have a question for you. I want to go to school for animation and learn to work with Blender a bit, but I was wondering if Maya or 3ds Max is better to use. No, none of them are better. It's just which one you have to use. So when I used to work doing this, I used 3ds Max because that's what they used. When I taught 3D animation, I used Maya because that's what they used. If you can get into a game studio or animation that uses Blender, then you can use Blender. The problem is it just depends on where you want to go, what you want to do. You know, that's the issue. So if you want to work for whoever, I don't know, who do you want to work for? There's a million great places to work out there. Like if you want to work at EA, then you're going to use Maya for animation. You know, that's what you're going to do, because that's what they use. So if you want to work for somebody else, then you need to know how to use what they use. So do the research and figure out what they use, and that's what you should learn. But the thing is what you find, I think, is that once you begin using multiple animation packages, you begin to realize that they're pretty much all the same. They all extrude. They all insert edge loops. They all, you know, they do it all. So there really isn't one, I don't think, that's any better than the other, honestly. I know that sounds weird, but I love Blender just because it's what I use, you know. And it's free. It's beautiful. I'm going to dissolve that edge there. So that's my 2 cents on Maya, Max. I mean, I would go out and just get the free editions of Maya and 3ds Max and any other free editions you can get your hands on and see what you think. They're all pretty cool. Why just use one? Why not use lots? I'm looking at this here, and it's got a hole in it. Do I want to have that hole? I think I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor right here, and then I'm going to create a cube here, scale it down, and I'm going to get it kind of that basic shape there and put it in place. And then I'm going to hollow it out, and then I'm going to add thickness again to it. So let's try this. See if it works. Who knows? Maybe it won't work. But, you know, I just think it's fun to try, just to see what you can come up with. I'm okay with it just not working the first time you try. I'm okay with that. All right, so now what I want to do is take this and hollow it out. And what I mean by hollow it out is just delete the top and the bottom, or the front and the back, like that. And then, so there's a couple ways. I can use that Solidify Modifier again, and that will just give me, let's see, a little bit of thickness. I can just pull that in Oh, that was dumb. How about this? There we go. Pull that in just a little bit like that to give it some thickness like that. All right. Let me draw that. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. That'll work. It has these kind of little triangles on it. Do I need those? Do I want those? Do I care? Yeah, I kind of do. Kinda. Yeah, I guess I should care, huh? All right, I'm going to go ahead and do it. If it's too much, I can delete it later. Cursor just selected. And this time I'll just create, I'll create a cube. Scale it down. Flatten it out. And this one, let me try something here. If I move this up, I say move it up, here we go. And get it in place. What just happened? There we go. I'm going to move this over here. I do that. I hit the wrong keys quite a lot. Now, this, can I just dissolve an edge and create a triangle here? Let's try it. Dissolve edge. Look at that. Nice. Okay. Put that there. And let's just duplicate these. Looks like it goes all the way to the end. There we go. Grab these. Duplicate. Spin around in the what? In the Y? RY 180. Did I get that correct? Yeah, look at that. Okay. All right. So there's that. I'm going to select everything and press Alt with wire and draw all edge. Now I can see it a little bit better. All right. What else? See, we've got these ridges here in the front. Do I want to actually model those? They don't go all the way around. I could. Always apply scale if you're going to work with Solidify Mod. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't do that, did I? But I think I got away with it okay. Yep. Let's see. You know, what I think I'm going to do here is I want to create these indentations here. And I think I'm going to split this face out, bring the edges of this thing over, and then create the ridges on that piece. So what I mean by that is, so if let me get back to here. Here we go. If I select this face and even this face here and split these out, say with the P key, or can I just, let me go ahead and split them out. I'm going to split them out with the P key. Now they're their own thing, right? I can now take this face. I'm going to drag it back in just a smidge. Oof, there we go. And what I can do now is, I think, take these edges right in here. Am I being too tricky now? Am I being too... I'm going to have to connect those up. That's okay. All right, I may be being too tricky with this, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to extrude, scale in the Y, and bring that edge over there, and then extrude, bring that in just a hair. I know, look at that. There we go. Yes, I think I'm gonna go with that. So now I've got that little piece See how that kind of overlaps there? I've got that here. Now what I can do is just take this piece, and now I can insert edge loops like this. I say, let's try that again. There we go. So now I can insert edge loops. Say I want to do 4. Yeah, let me do 4 here. And then take these 2 and scale them into Z. Something like that. I feel like this should go up a bit like this. And this should come down a bit like this. And the reason why I'm doing this, as I said, I think, is so the edge loops don't go all the way around. I'm just splitting it out so I don't have to deal with all of that. So now if I take this and extrude it in, and then I'm going to bring this in just a hair, like that. And then let me take these, and with individual origins, right, I'm going to scale in the Z and narrow them up just a bit. Bring them out. There we go. So now we've got that kind of inset there, and if we smooth it, let's see what happens. Not liking the little bulbous bit there. Let me turn off this here. Not bad. Not bad. We'll see. We'll see if I come up with another grand idea here. All right, let's, although that doesn't look too bad, actually, with it just not even being smoothed. Huh. All right. Let's grab this and join it together and pop it over to the other side. So, Control J. There we go. Now I'm going to spin around here. I am going to, what do I want to do? Oh, well, I can duplicate it. And then I can come down here to Object, Mirror, and Global Y. Flip that around. Bring that over here, like that. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So far so good, I think. We've got this piece, that bar there. I don't know if we need it. I kind of like it, though. It's going to add a lot to the object, but I kind of like it. I don't know. What do you think? So, let me see what people are saying here. Oh, you've seen my lynda.com courses. Thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Maya isn't good for extruding stuff. Well, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it just depends on what you want to do. If you inset while pressing Control, that will pop up or down the geometry. Really? Really? Okay, hang on. You're gonna make me test that out, aren't you? All right, so if I, what do you mean? If I take this, inset while pressing Control, Control I, now what? Now what do I do? No. Oh, you mean inset and then Control? Yes. Okay. Yeah, but that's pretty much the same as extrude, isn't it? I mean, that's cool, but I don't know. All right. Well, see, that's something I never knew. That could come in handy. Thank you. Do I know how to reproject normal maps to a mesh with a multiple UV layout? Holy crap. That's that's a lot of question right there. Not off the top of my head. I would have to just I would have to play with that. So I'm sorry about that, Jules. I don't have that like on the top of my head. It's Let me think about it, and maybe I'll have something for you tomorrow. Reproject normal maps to a mesh with multiple UV layouts. Gosh. Well, you stumped me. I'll have to think about that. Hey, bonjour from France. Hello, thank you for joining us. All right. So this bar here, I wanna work with this. I wanna try this, simply because I can. It looks to me like it's just a cylinder, and then this thing, and then that thing. These are all, technical terms, of course. So first of all, let me work on the cylinder. I'm going to tab into edit mode and bring the cursor to that point right there. And then I want to create a cylinder. I don't need 32 sides. How about, let's just go with 12. If that, we probably don't even need that. I'm going to go ahead and use a triangle fan and spin around in the X, RX90, scale down, bring it out a bit. Here we go. All right. Now, here's that bar. Looks like it goes just beyond the edge. And that looks to be about where it is. Like that. All right. Let me scale it down a hair. Okay. It is so hard to see what this is, but I'm just kind of going to have to go with it. I don't really know what this thing is. It looks like a fork, kind of, but it's really hard to tell. So, I know, I'm just adding polys to this. I understand that, but I love doing this. I like modeling. Sometimes the low poly thing just means I don't get to model as much. All right, I'm going to try this. I am going to think. First, I'm going to have to think. Oh, I got it. Let's go with the cube. Let's get rid of these. Like that. Let's get something like that. Now what I could do is extrude some. So if I extruded this edge, like that, and I extruded these edges, like that. Let me try that again. Like, oh, that didn't work. Try that again. There we go. Like that. It almost looks like you could go like this and like that. And then take these two in like this. Something like that. It would help if I knew what in the world this is. That's always my problem, is sometimes I'm just looking at something and I have no idea what it is. But okay. Oh, I think I've yeah, let me get this back to medium point. That helps. Thank you. Okay. So that's kind of what I see there. I'm not sure if I'm seeing it quite right. But let's try and get it in place and see if it works at all. So I'm going to go back over here. Move it. rotate it around the X, RX90, scale it. Bring it up into place. And let's see what happens if I do this, like that. That's just way too big. Is this even going to work? If it isn't, I'm going to be kind of upset because I'm enjoying myself. All right, so let's take this. I'm just going to move that cursor to there. Move this to 3D cursor. Rotate around the Y a bit like that. Okay, so now, is that about what that is? I mean, I think so. I think that's about what that is. Like that. All right, so now this weird little thing, let me go like that. Now what I can do is grab this and let's use that solidify, and you are correct, let's apply the scale. There we go. And then solidify, thickness. Let's give it a try like that. Ooh, all right. I can kind of live with that, although this part right here is a little bit awkward. But then, who of us isn't a little awkward, right? All right, I think that's good. I think then what I'll do is while I'm here, I'll go ahead and create that little piece right there. Cylinder. Whoa. Let's make it, yeah, 12's fine. X90. This is fun. I like this. Just noodling around with this kind of thing is fun. All right, so I think like that. Let's try that. All right. So let me turn this off real quick, see how it looks. Yeah, okay. I can live with that, I think. Smooth that. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. Maybe when they dump it into the truck, this thing catches or something. I'm not sure. But it was fun to do. Okay, so I'm going to select everything and go ahead and add that wire and draw all edge. Excuse me, I've got to select everything and Alt-click wire and draw all edge for them all to get it. All right. So now what? Now what should we do? Oh, the wheels. Those will be fun. Kickstand. Yeah, it's a kickstand. That's what it is. Maybe when it falls over. Do I have any advice for building a portfolio? Wow. Heavy questions. I guess wherever you begin, you're going to begin doing just one thing. So if you are planning on working for a game studio or an animation studio, when you begin, you're going to be put in a very specific job. Like you're going to be an environment modeler, or you're going to be a a texture artist, or, you know. So what your portfolio, if you're trying to get into a place, should be is very, very specific. You are this person who just does this, right? Or maybe you're a character animator. Maybe that's your thing, and that's great. But, you know, that is very hard to get into. So your portfolio needs to be awesome, obviously, but it needs to be, I think, if you're just beginning, just one thing, right? Focus on the one thing that you're best at that can get you in the door. Once you're in the door, then you can begin branching out and doing other things and helping out different departments and things like that. But I think you need to be very specific up front. Let's see. I'm going to put, I don't want that. I'm going to put a cube, and I am going to work on one of these wheels. Let's see. I'm just going to bring this up and put it over here. Control 7 to go to the bottom. There we go. And I'm going to begin right over here. I'm just going to put this plate right here. It looks to me like there's a plate. I know it's almost impossible to tell, but it looks like there's just a little plate right under here where these things go onto. So that's what I'm going for. So now I'm going to work on this piece right there that holds the wheel, right? So let's see. I think I want it to be a little bit closer to the edge. Like this and like this. And then that piece that holds the wheel. I think, well, there's a couple ways we could do that. I think it just is a cube with a couple of extrusions coming down. I think that's all that is. So, or, once again, we could use our Solidify modifier. Yeah, why don't we do that? Cursor to selected. Let's create a plane. Scale it down. And what I'm going to do is make it so it's pretty narrow, like that. Something like that. Then I'm going to extrude these edges down like this and like that. And then, now that I've got that, let me go to the front here. Which one's the front? I can never remember what I did. Here we go. If I bring this down and move that forward a bit, so it, see how it's kind of angled a bit? Now, what I think I'll do, well, it looks a little wide, like that. And I think what I want to do now is grab these edges, and I want to bevel them to get that curve. But first I am going to apply the scale, and then Control B, and bring those down a bit. I'm holding the Shift key as I do this, so it goes a little slower. And then I'm going to add a segment to it so it curves just a bit like that. Yeah. And then I'm going to add an edge there so that I can take all of these points and I want to drag them up, but yeah, why not? I'll just go like that and move it over. Okay. So now I'm going to solidify it. That's not easy to say. Something like that. Okay. Now I want to put the tire in there and the bolt. I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Go ahead and apply that. Did I apply those other ones? I don't think I did. Did I? Like this? No, I didn't apply that. I'll go ahead and apply it. Sure. So now it's all one piece. And was there something else I solidified? No, I don't think so. Let's put the wheel in place. So I'm going to just take these points right here and pop the cursor into that point. Now create a cylinder. Spin it. I think I want more sides. Let's try that. Spin it around the Y. Scale it down. Get it in place here. Okay. So there is that about right? Did I get it about right? No. Can't be that easy. Scale it up just a little bit like that. Is that? Let's take a look at it. Looks like it's a little too thick from here. Hard to see. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so now let's clean it up a bit. What do I want to do here? Probably, you know what I think I will do? Give me just a little bit of, that's not right. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Let's select edges and not faces, maybe. Let's try that. There we go. It's still there. Let's try that again. All right. There we go. A little bit too much. Let me try this again. I'm having all kinds of problems. Why is that? What am I doing wrong? You know. All right, so let me just make sure. What am I doing wrong? There it is. Okay. Don't know why. What was I doing wrong there? That's a little bit better. Okay. Now, and yeah, someone mentioned to, oh no, no, that's not what they're saying. Press G and double Z. What does that do for you? Press G and double Z. What does that do for me? I don't know. Is that for an edge? Tell me. Is there a shortcut I don't know about? Who is this? Paris 7. Help me. I want to know now. Yes, and I could have my cursor further away from the center when I'm doing something like a bevel. It's true. And I had it at median, so I'm not sure what was going on. I'm going to extrude these, E, and then I'm going to scale and press Shift X to not scale in the X, and bring these down a bit like that, so they both go. And then I'm going to hit E and scale in the X this time like this, right? And then I'm going to go, once again, I need to scale without the X, Shift X. And then I want to scale with X. So ESX back out like that. Okay, something like that. Now let's take this. Looks like it's too much. Let's bring that in a bit. There we go. I don't like that here. Let me try something like that. There we go. Okay. Move that out a bit. Yeah, okay. And once I get this done, then I'll just duplicate it for all the other sides. Yeah, see, I get a little bit too into the modeling process, but it's fun. I'm just playing now, so don't take what I'm doing for gospel, you know. Enjoy the process. So I'm just going to move these here like this. And now, okay, now I've got this. I'm going to select everything, and once again, Alt-click Wire and Draw Edge, just so I can see it a little bit better. And now I want to make this little guy. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 6-sided cylinder. So, yeah, I'll just put this. Let me snap the cursor there. The previous piece. Shift R to repeat the last step. Very nice. Yes, I forgot about that. That's awesome. You know what? If you're so inclined, when I'm all done streaming, the chat just goes away. If you could, or if you're, as I said, so inclined, it'd be great if you put some of these comments on the actual video after it's all processed and everything, and on YouTube permanently, because I wish all of this great information would stay with the video, but it doesn't. So just an idea. Let me go to cylinder, 6-sided. Yeah, that's good. Triangle fan, R, Y, 90. I don't need these back here. There we go. Get rid of that. And now scale it down. And there's that bolt on the end of our little piece there. Right here. Yes. So there he is. Okay, so I'm going to grab this, duplicate it. I'll mirror it in the X, global, flip it, hit enter, and move that over here, like so. There we go. They don't quite touch, but I don't think we're going to ever care. Actually, what I could do, I could go ahead and just do that, right? If I'm here, I might as well just do it. Okay, there we go. Now, that was too much fun. Okay, so now that we've got our wheel there, what I can do is I can grab all of this, combine it together, and then move it around to the other parts. So let's, I'm going to hit Control J. And it's all flipped inside, hasn't it? Look at that. Let me select it, go into edit mode, and I'm going to press Control N and flip everything out. The normals out. Shift H to isolate. I'm going to move the cursor to there, move the pivot point to the cursor, and now I can take this and duplicate it around Alt-H to bring that back. Here we go. There he is. There he is. So now I'm going to duplicate this and move it over to here. And then both of these, and move these over to here, right? Now, whoa, there we go. Yeah, okay. So, and I can spin them around a bit. I can always take this piece right here and split it out so it's its own thing. And now if I select that, I can RZ and rotate it around like that. So I can maybe spin it around like that, right? Yes. So it isn't all just on one axis, you know. RZ, spin that around. There we go. Maybe I'll do this one over here too. P and split them out. Yeah, something like that. So I get them kind of turned like that. So they aren't just perfect, you know, along the y-axis here. All right. So there's our tires, our wheels. Let's see what else we want to do. Let me save. That's a good idea. All right. How do you keep track of all the different parts when message not sent UV mapping it? Oh, I see. When UV mapping it. That's a good question. How do you just keep it straight in your head, do you mean? I tend to do one piece at a time. If you'll notice here, I have a lot of different objects. In fact, someone asked one time why I don't just stay in edit mode the whole time and create new primitives in edit mode. And one of the reasons, I think, is that I like to keep things in there as their own object until the process of UV comes. And then I can kind of do each individual object, and then when it's all done, combine everything, and then use Control A and Control P in the UV editor, which is average island scale and pack islands. And that helps out a lot. We'll be doing that as we go here. I'll be doing more of that. It looks like there are little plates here that maybe hold these things on. Let me do that real quick. And then I'm going to have to call it a day here. Let me grab this. Actually, I'll grab these two and put the cursor here, and then I'll create a new cube, and this thing just needs to scale down in the X quite a bit, like this. And it's just a very thin piece, and I don't need this back part. I'll delete that face and just move it in like this. Get that kind of in place there, and then move it in. Okay, like that, yeah. So, yeah, okay, that helps, I think. Did I lose my Solidify? Did I delete that, or? Oh, you know, yeah, okay, so what I did is I had a Solidify modifier on this, and then I combined it with these pieces here, and so it blew away the modifier. So just a lesson learned there, which I'd never seem to learn. I'll just bring this in just a bit and apply it. Modifiers can't be applied in edit mode. Thank you. How about that? Is that going to do it? No, it's not, because it's doing it for all of it. All right, let me go back. What I got to do is I've got to split that thing out. Oh, that ticks me off. Sorry about that. I get going and I forget things. Solidify. There we go. Now I'll have to go back and combine those. And I can combine that too. Right? Why don't I do that? So did I? Wait a minute. Have I applied this? No, I was about to do it again. Dang it. All right. Now let's take all of these, combine it, Control J. And I can get rid of this piece over here. And then I'll just flip this around. You know what I could do? I could move the origin to the 3D cursor in the center. I could make sure that my rotation and scale are applied, and then I could mirror it in the y-axis. Why don't I try that? Mirror, Y, and there it is, and apply. Yeah, that'll work. All right. Well, I better get going. I'm going to have to... The kids are coming home from school, so I'm going to have to get going. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. How can you model the dumpster hatch? Oh, that's a good question. Once again, I think what I'll do is create a plane, maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to see. Let's do that tomorrow. Tomorrow, let's work on this. I think it's just a series of extrusions that we're going to do. But I think we can do it. Oh, yeah. We can do that. So is this considered high or low poly? That's a good question. This is probably considered fairly high poly, at least in terms of video games. We're at 3,000 tries here. If we were going to put this in a game like GTA or just an open world, where you've got a lot of things in there, this would probably be too much. We would probably want to do just a cube and textures, pretty much, and that's it. I'm kind of working in between at this point in time. I'm working in Blender, but I'm going to be finishing in Unity. So it does need to be fairly low poly because it'll be going into a game engine, but I won't have that real-time interaction. I'm going to be rendering it out as if it's film, but I'll be doing real-time rendering through Unity. So it's kind of a combination. So yeah, keep that in mind. All right, so thanks again. Have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow, and take care.